Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to go a story titled, I Need to Send a Letter to Thanks to Dyson. I discovered my wife of 17 years, an 18-month affair, when I update our fan filter on the app it uses. And a shout out to Kevin for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, he's 43 years old, been married 17 years, and just found out from the weirdest possible way by updating the app on his Dyson fan in his house that his wife's cheating on him, hooking up with a coworker for the last 18 months. And when you hear some details in this whole thing, man, it's definitely one to remember. And our guy here, a lot of guys have different reactions to these type of things, but this guy's reaction is anger, and he wants revenge. And he wants to definitely stick it to her in a way that it's not going to go too well for her. And I'll be going to go over here, guys, a good, solid revenge story with a lot of crazy details. Again, reminding you to always pay attention to red flags. Even if it doesn't even seem like there's red flags, you got to pay attention anyway. And it's amazing, amazing what can be hidden for so long. But before I get into it, guys, again, come check me out on Patreon or Locals. For you guys looking for men's community over there, either one is good. Yeah, you can come over and join as a free member and check out what it's about, or become a paying supporter and get exclusive videos, 2 to 3 a week, plus my content over there in advance, commercial free, and of course a censorship free environment. So come on by and check it out. So his story starts off. He says, like the title says, history here. I'm married 17 years with no children of her own. She's been divorced once and had 2 daughters that I helped raise, who are now 23 and 28 years old prior to our marriage. In other words, he married, we all know, a single MOM. And here we go. We really only had minor bumps and issues in our marriage. We've had an open door type of communication with each other, whether it be work issues and venting, or S-word issues in the bedroom, or just how we were feeling. Often we will just talk on the couch about life and philosophy in general. I felt that we had a great connection and a pretty heavy, fulfilling SCX life. Well, apparently not fulfilling enough for her, because she had to step out of the marriage. We're both in good shape and maintain a healthy lifestyle. I work in the medical field, and due to things being what they are, I've been putting in a decent amount of overtime over the past 5 months. She works at a legal consultancy and has been WFH for the past 5 months. WFH. Working from home. Oh, by the way, guys, this story is 6 years old. And to my absolute knowledge, I've never covered this before. I have no idea. But anyhow, this is obviously matching up to 2020 during COVID. So hence him in the medical field working all the time, as it was, and her working from home. Okay. It's made things distant, but on our days off, we are tight. I changed the filter on the Dyson fan in our bedroom last night. I asked wife if I could use her phone to update the app in order to reset the change filter alert. Mine was on the charger next to the front door. I noticed that she had put on a pattern unlock and kind of wanted to ask her what that was all about. As I was finding the app on her phone, a notification from Snapchat popped up. My stomach dropped immediately as I read the small tag. The tag said, "I'll bring the special toy." It's always something like that, huh? It's always when the guy borrows the phone or borrows the laptop or something like that. Almost every time. This is why you should inspect the phone on occasion. Open phone policy. And be aware that there could be another phone hidden away or whatever. My wife has an obligatory quarterly out-of-town meeting that puts her 2 states away for 5 days every business quarter. I knew it was about this coming trip on Monday. I perused Reddit for years anonymously. I've read hundreds of stories that began like this, and never once I thought about it being me, that would sit in my bedroom floor and be in such a cold, dumbfounded state. I've had a lot of guys say that. They've heard stories like mine I cover here on this channel from Reddit, or my other channel, Strong Successful Male. They've been hearing guys send their stories for years. Never thought, ever, it would happen to them. Some even thought stories like this were a bunch of nonsense, until it happened to them. But at least in those stories, these guys learn in some way or manner how better to handle a situation like this. Well, I recovered, and said, oh, just getting the info about the IP and the router. That's how the fan communicates through the app. I have Chromebook that she logged into Facebook yesterday. It took weeks. It took a week's vacation short notice. Excuse me, guys. I took a week's vacation short notice. My supervisor's a cool chick, and once I lay it out, what I have discovered and have to do, I'm going to need time off. So I told his boss, basically, I'm getting divorced. I need some time off to figure things out. Good, he got it. Well, I've been up all night reading her chats. She left to go to the office just now, and I made sure the Google location history was on, and find my phone was very active. I'm so suspicious of everything she does now, I can't look at myself in the mirror. She doesn't know I saw the message notification. I logged onto the messaging system that Verizon uses, and have signed in under her number and name. Now listen to this part, what he discovered by signing in under her number and name on their Verizon account. There are at least 15,000 messages that date back to February last year. Messages, memes, flirty pictures, and, drumroll, some X-rated ones too. She stopped texting him this way about 3 months ago. Didn't stop texting him though, but stopped using the message app through Verizon. I'm guessing they switched to the Snapchat because it is discreet. I'm not on any social media in any way, shape, or form, and I am clueless. I wonder what made them switch. Well, you're going to find out a detail about her lover, and then that might explain why they switched. I just figured out that you can't log into Snapchat through Facebook, but it just takes an email and a password, and she has used this Chromebook to do that. Hell, she used it just 3 nights ago, lying in bed next to me, rubbing my back while I went to sleep, and she messaged him and sexted him lying next to me. What a freaking snake. That's like kind of a covert way of cucking him. Well, it turns out it's a younger man from her work. He's married, has 3 young children. He and his wife have Facebook. I met him twice, and I shook his effing hand. Oh, that is freaking low. That's probably the reason that the switch to Snapchat, maybe to hide from his wife. Who knows? I'm a complete loss again, and have paced and wandered my house that I had custom built for her for hours. I almost can't feel anything. What little that I am processing is just white-hot rage. I logged on Snapchat, and there it all was. I have called my best friend, who has been divorced 3 times, and he says, don't get me started on his partner pics. And he recommended a vicious lawyer. I plan on recording and saving everything. There are pictures of them hooking up, and I'm sure her phone or his has video. Man, this guy, this is horrible. I feel bad for this guy. But this guy, he hit the gold mine in terms of all this information that he has to use against her. Now, let's just hope he's in a at-fault state and all that. But this is a lot of powerful stuff. And if this is with a coworker, he's got some leverage on her, you know. Well, I desperately want this to be a bad dream. She said terrible things about me. She told him all my insecurities. That's why you never share your insecurities with a woman, ever. When they say they want a guy to be vulnerable and open up, don't do it, guys. One, it makes them lose respect for you, regardless of what they say, and they'll fucking use it against you. Right here. She told him, I love you. They have made no long-term plans, so this feels pretty much like a purely S-word relationship. It almost makes it better, but also makes it so much worse. Like she literally is throwing away our life for his. She knows cheating is an absolute deal breaker for me. And yet she does it. But probably in her mind, this guy's been with me for 17 years. He's proven through his actions to be just so in love with me, he'll never leave me. That's probably what's going on in her head. Our usual routine of the day, she leaves for her meetings, is I take her to the airport and drop her off with a long goodbye. I can't even think about what I have to do now. My friend says print out the entire thing and see if I can recover things from Snapchat. From what I understand, I cannot unless I have her phone. My plan is to see the lawyer today. I'm paying a ridiculous amount of money to jump into her appointment line. Get the ball rolling and hopefully have a plan of action from her. I really want to book a flight and follow my wife to the hotel and that she's staying at and catch her in the act. I can't blame him on multiple fronts, but better he meets the lawyer, finds out his options, and meanwhile gets as much of information from her and prints it out and stores it as possible, you know? Or he could do that over the course of 24 hours 48 hours, and then flies there and catches them in the act. Maybe that, I don't know. I have access to her hotel booking options, and I put myself as a contact person, so I can get a room key without alerting her. I think I'm just going to log onto the messaging apps when I get into town and watch it in real time. If I could get the papers ready in time, I'd hand them to her. Instead, I'm just going to hand her the printouts. It's a 600-page PDF. Damn, 600 pages worth of information, obviously primarily from the 15,000 messages he caught, amongst all the pictures sent back and forth and videos. His wife has accepted my friend request. I am debating sending everything right now. Great. Get the wife involved. The other thing is I don't want him to get her fired now because regardless, can make things challenging for him in terms of alimony unless things are different in his state. I am seething. I just don't want to lose any advantage. I'm going to fly there Monday afternoon, log in, and see what they've been talking about. He means fly in there, get into her room because he can get her key without notifying her, get on her phone if he can, and, find out the information from Snapchat. But I don't know that's possible if she's going to take her phone with her, so I don't know what he's thinking. I'll log in and see what they're talking about. Get a room key to my wife's room and drop off the package in her room with my wedding ring. I'm going to sit at the bar and watch my phone blow up. Damn, that'd be interesting to watch. I've got to call the affair partner and tell him to meet me in the lobby and bar and to bring my wife down. Then tell him that a similar package has been sent certified mail to his home addressed to his wife. As well as a Facebook message that I plan on hitting to send it all to him as I tell him. It feels petty and weak. I want to rage and scream, but I'm helpless. Dude, I got no problem with the revenge as long as your lawyer thinks this is the smart way to go. If this lawyer of his, through his buddy who's been divorced 3 freaking times, smacked his buddy about that. And smacked and he married a single mom back then. If she's as sought after and much of a shark or whatever, make sure you listen to her. This morning, all I could do was give her a peck on the cheek and goodbye at the airport. I really can't stand to look her in the eye. I somehow have to get through this weekend. I guess I'm asking, is my spiteful, hate-fueled plan worth it? I have no problem with this spiteful, fueled plan. No problem at all with that. But as long as it makes long-term sense. I just want to inflict pain at this point. I want to hurt her emotionally. I feel eviscerated, emasculated, and I will not entertain an apology. This is the one act that's unforgivable. It takes so many steps to cheat on someone, they can all be stopped until the sin is complete. Yeah, and you know what she's going to say. It was a mistake. Meanwhile, 18 months of 15,000 motherfucking texts and them hooking up and all that, sneaking around, a mistake? Well, we know we're going to hear it. Then it is done. Should I just confront her tonight or catch her in the act? I don't think I'll update. I'm truly thinking about never using social media again and only being with a partner that has a similar outlook moving forward. Well, isn't that what you thought you had the first time around, bro? He also says, I also found the special toy. Keep in mind, we have a chest full of adult fun devices. It was already in her carry-on. It's one of those remote control vibrators, the ones that can be controlled by an app. It looks expensive. I meet with a lawyer in 90 minutes. Okay, well, that's part 1. Now we're going to move on to part 2. Remote control dildo, huh? Okay, on to the update. He says, well, I met with a lawyer. She was actually kind and I dare say compassionate with me. She told me point blank that her job was to represent me in this fight for my future. And my job in all of this was to tell her the complete truth and not make her job harder. Right. This is why you got to tell your lawyer everything. Lay all the cards on the table that the good lawyer he or she can use, as humiliating as it is. Well, I went to Kinko's and printed the file out. It cost me $534 for color because I wanted to have the pictures as well. Shout out to Chris at Kinko's for not making a scene when the nude started popping out. He asked what it was all about, so I told him. He was taken aback, but shook my hand and said sorry. I went home, crashed for about 3 hours, and soon-to-be ex-wife came home around 7:30, usual time. The lawyer said to me to forget any Hollywood confrontation in a hotel bar, that it would look pretty crazy and not becoming at all. So I'm sorry to all these people who wanted the high drama. She's right ultimately. So he didn't fly there and bust him at the bar and do all that. That would have been entertaining, but I didn't think that was going to be the long-term strategy that the lawyer would approve of. There's 2 routes to take with divorce: contested or non-contested. She said I would have to notify my soon-to-be ex I have retained counsel, and I'm in order to proceed. My soon-to-be ex would have to either contest the divorce, or we would go through mediation and file from there. So she got home about 2 hours ago. I asked her if there's anything going on that she wanted to talk about. Really? She's not going to respond to that. She said nothing other than the election. She's referring to the 2020 election. Of course, you want to talk about that. So then asked what was bothering me. I wanted to cry, but truthfully, I was cried out. I said I was curious as to why she had a remote control vibrator in her luggage. Oh, here we go. The look on her face was actually more telling than anything I've ever seen. She looked panicked and pale. She began to breathe faster, sweat. I asked why she would have something like that. Who had the code and the app to that? She stammered, and the tears began. Of course, bring on the waterworks. As I pulled out my 3 file folders worth of text exchanges, I asked if the AP's wife would have it. She cried and pleaded that she could explain. Hobag Handbook Chapter 2. It's always the same shit. I said that she had 5 minutes to do it. Of course, she couldn't. I told her what my attorney told me to tell her. I also told her to leave. She screamed it was her house too. I calmly told her that may be, but it would be I would be notifying everyone about her affair and betrayal, that even the girls will know. There you go, control the narrative, but he better be quick about it because she's going to be on that phone calling everybody before he does. Or she can leave the house now and find living arrangements for the time being. Hell, she'll be at her work conference for a week. She was speechless. I calmly pulled up Facebook and showed her the affair partner's wife. I said, do you want me to tell her, or are you going to do it right now? Well, the tears and the moaning and the pleading with I love yous, and it wasn't supposed to go that way. Then my personal favorite, you can't do this. You'd think she'd be a little more, a little more choosing of her better words and saying, you can't do this. Bitch, I am doing it. I got 18 months worth of evidence of you not just making a mistake. I said, well, it looks like I am doing it, as I sent the affair partner's wife a message with the file of their escapades on it. I prefaced it with apologies and a brief explanation. I haven't heard back from her. Oh, you're going to hear back from her soon. I leafed through the stacks of paper and started reading random excerpts out loud to my soon-to-be ex. For example, one was, I just wish we could spend the day attached to each other, just you inside me. Another one, you feel so much more intense than any other woman I've ever been with. That's him saying that to her. She's still sobbing and asking to talk about us. She says our marriage can withstand her mistake. What'd I tell you? Mistake? 15,000 mistakes? No, I don't think it can. I told her I would never forgive her. Her word is shit, and she threw away the last 17 years. I'm still entertaining the whole tell the HR thing, and I'm going to tell everyone about her decision to end the marriage by cheating. I got no problem doing any of that, but tell the HR after you're divorced. Thank you to everyone who responded. I feel bad I couldn't respond to all the PMs and responses. I have a therapy appointment scheduled on Tuesday. I kind of feel extremely elated. I'm shaking and incredibly low right now. I kind of want to die. Dude, it's not worth ending yourself. Okay, you're 43. You're younger than... Okay, he did this 6 years ago, but I'm talking to him as if he did this last week. For any guy out there in a situation like that, it's not worth ending it for. And you're 43. You got a whole life to live. I'm 48, and I think I'm like 32. Plenty I want to do before I die. But I can understand his heart being ripped out, wanting to end it all. I've been heartbroken too, guys. I know what it feels like, and it sucks. Big time. But it's all about getting through the day, and then the next day, and then after that, or getting through the hour. But it's not worth ending it over. Talk to somebody who cares. This guy, I guarantee, has people that care. The house is pretty quiet, except for all her crying and moaning. I told her to not come back after the trip. I'm currently sending friend requests and trying to get everyone on my page. I'm just going to send it to everyone that particular way. I'm going to wait until the morning to call the girls. I raised them from when they were 11 years old and 6 years old. They are women now, 28 and 23. I don't know what to tell them or how to handle them. And that is the abrupt ending to the story, guys. And unfortunately, as far as I've noticed, I don't see any updates here. So we can all speculate what happened here. That was the end of it, and he moved on, or I hope not. Her waterworks worked on him. Flip a coin, what can happen, because you never know. He could not do any updates beyond this point for either reason. But I'm going to stick to hope here that he followed through. Believe me, he was pissed off enough that I think he followed through and got rid of her. But anyhow, guys, holy crap. That is a guy on the warpath. And that's how you got to handle it. And I do wish this guy the best wherever he is right now, 6 years later. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.